Well, they're not even hiding it now. They're literally just calling China and South Korea racist. Even though in the Hollywood Reporter's own article, they quote an op-ed that explains why people are not responding to this. And it's actually got nothing to do with a skin colour at all. It's to do with the original fairy tale and the sort of image that conjures up. And it's not Halle Bailey. But again, the Hollywood Reporter, being a mouthpiece for Disney, is just going to sit there and claim that everyone who dislikes it is racist. Because why wouldn't you do that, you know? You've got to get them dollary dues in from Disney. Absolutely ridiculous. The lengths that these companies are going to make this a success is absolutely beyond me. Or at least to try and make it appear like it's a success is beyond me. They have this bizarre desire to see this succeed. And it's all to do with justification. Because if it succeeds, then they can justify swapping things out. And I'm not necessarily just talking about the character's ethnicity. They swapped a lot of things out from this story, changed a lot of things, and they can justify it to themselves then, but they can't justify it to themselves if this is a bomb, which it is a bomb, and unfortunately these mainstream media articles are having to admit that now, because it's an unmitigated disaster. You can only keep the lie up for so long until it becomes so blatant you have to end up admitting it. Because you just look like an idiot otherwise. Which they are still looking like idiots, but never mind. But hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. Love to have you here more often. Give the video a like, and please do share it, because this type of nonsense needs to get out there a little bit wider. But check this out. So, The Little Mermaid is getting doused in select foreign markets amid a racist backlash over the casting of black actress Halle Bailey in the role of Ariel. Yeah, it couldn't possibly be to do with all the other things that you changed. No. So if you don't like this, you're racist, apparently. Which is just, it's such a moronic take. And it goes to show just, if that's your argument, just to insult someone and call someone a bigot, I mean, that's not a good argument. It's really not a good argument, because people can justify why they dislike it. I mean, there's many reasons to dislike this. One, it's drab, it's dark, the colour palette's terrible, it's washed out, the visual effects look bad, this flounder looks awful, There you go. There's a whole host of reasons, justifiable reasons, why this movie is not very good. But no, apparently just racist. Like, that's such a pea-brain take. Such a pea-brain take. So the movie's grossed a mere 3.6 million in its first 10 days of China. It's released in China. But that's funny, isn't it, ladies and gents? Because Fast X, a very diverse film, has done pretty well in China. Oh, but remember, racist. What? Again, moronic take, Hollywood Reporter. Really moronic take. Because Fast X has done, I don't know, almost like 4 times as much. I think it did like $12 odd million in China. If I remember rightly, did really well in China. I mean, that's pretty diverse. It's pretty diverse. But no, racist. So dumb. But this is, of course, this 3.6 million in China is the worst showing among Disney's live-action adaptations. But this is the outlier. And I've said in many videos is that The Little Mermaid is essentially a case study, because a lot of the other films that the live-action adaptations had released hadn't changed that much. So that was different. And then also, they released pre-Disney Plus. This movie is a case study on how people are going to respond when they know in a month's time they can just watch it on Disney Plus. And no one's accounting for that in any of these articles. It's so dumb. So the movie is also struggling badly in South Korea. Must mean they're racist. Where it has earned 4.4 million through June 4th. Sources close to the movie, as well as box office analysts, say Disney knew Little Mermaid could face challenges, but is surprised by the extent of the backlash and its impact. Well, they just must be racist, I guess. Bloody racists. The social media outcry over Bailey's casting has been particularly vociferous in both markets. Sources believe this has resulted in unverified audience reviews bashing the movie. In South Korea, such reviews have even made headlines. But check this out. So negative audience reviews have also populated social media in China, and just before the film opened in that country, the government affiliated the Global Times ran an editorial lambasting Disney's movies. But here you have it, right? So this is their own quote. Remember, according to the Hollywood Reporter, everyone's just racist that doesn't like this movie. Must be racism. But they even quote this. So the controversy surrounding Disney's forced inclusion of minorities in classic films is not about racism, but its lazy and irresponsible storytelling strategy. Many Chinese netizens said that, like Snow White, the image of the mermaid princess in Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales has long been rooted in their hearts, and it takes a leap of imagination to accept the new cast. That is a perfectly fair argument. That is a fair argument to make. Nah, must be racist. God, so pathetic. And it just goes to show the Hollywood Reporter's pathetic response. And I'm repeating myself on some of these insults here, but it truly is devoid of imagination and conviction if that's your response. Just racist. No. So the editorial further questioned whether Disney's political correctness is motivated by financial interest or genuine concern for representation. That's a fair argument, or a fair question to posit as well. So Bailey landed the role in 2019 after an extensive search that included hundreds of actresses. She immediately set the bar so high that no one surpassed it, Rob Marshall, the director, told The Hollywood Reporter last month. We saw every ethnicity. There was no agenda to cast a woman of colour. It was really just, let's find the best Ariel, and Halle claimed the role. Bailey's performance has been widely lauded by critics and verified audiences alike. So in China, Hollywood's earnings have been down dramatically since the pandemic. The biggest US hits so far this year has been Fast X and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I mean, again, both pretty diverse, but that must be racist. Guys, so dumb. Again, both nearing the ends of their runs, with current totals of approximately 125 million and 78.8 million respectively. So, what are you talking about then? Those are solid numbers, but much less than each franchise's predecessors. So, it's down in this country, in this country, and the West in America too. Bizarre. Fast X, they even say Fast X, but they're like, no, it must be racist. What, very specifically on one film only? God, such a dumb take. But even against the collective backdrop of diminished China potential, the scale of The Little Mermaid's flop is conspicuous. The Jungle King... What do you mean? How is it conspicuous? The Jungle King and The Lion King were outright blockbusters in China, earning 150 million and 120 million respectively. The Jungle King? Do you mean the Jungle Book? The Jungle King? Anyway, while Aladdin took in a solid $53.5 million. Well, I guess China are very selective in who they're racist against, because, you know, Aladdin, absolutely fine, apparently. Even Cruella, which was released during the pandemic, earned 24 million. Yeah, it couldn't possibly be that they changed loads of other things in The Little Mermaid and people are just annoyed about it. It's disappointing, says the Little Mermaid insider. Well, yeah, obviously, because you want to make money, and you're flopping, and you can't justify it. So anyway, a source outside the studio who tracks the performance of Hollywood event picks said, "We did not expect the racist reaction, and therefore for the picture to underperform internationally. Yeah, everyone who dislikes the movie is just a racist. Absolutely pathetic. So how are you going to justify Fast X then, huh? And The Jungle Book? Behave. Oh, and also Guardians of the Galaxy. How are you going to justify any of this? They don't need to. They just throw it around and just say racist." Japan is another key market for The Little Mermaid, where it opens in the coming days. There you go. They're just going to claim racist there as well. Disney's final marketing push in Japan trumpets the film's strong verified audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as the movie's promising start in North America. The studio also continues to focus on the acclaim Bailey has earned. As for combating user reviews made in poor faith, observers say it's hard to do internationally. Domestically, you can search for verified audience scores. What, ones that have literally purchased through a specific product app. Yeah, no thanks, Fandango. No. Anyway, China and South Korea are racist, apparently, but only very select and only on one movie in particular, because it could possibly be that the movie's just shit.